Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Sarah puts the S in scoop. Sarah Scoop! As you see today, I have a very special guest, Mrs. Lafferty. So I'm going to be interviewing her. This is very exciting. So yes, here you go. Welcome to Sarah Scoop.
Well, thank you for having me, Sarah. I'm delighted to be here.
Oh, I'm glad. So, what was your teaching jobs prior to Corpus Christi?
I taught 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade at St. Francis in Norristown. Then I stayed home to raise my babies. And then I returned to teaching a long time ago. I taught 6th, 7th, and 8th grade at St. Patrick's in Norristown. And then I moved to 7th and 8th grade at St. Mary the Assumption in Manayunk. And then I came here as the 8th grade teacher. And then I was the vice principal for 14 years. And this is my 3rd year as principal.
Yes, congratulations. That's a very big deal. What was your favorite grade to teach when you were a teacher?
Absolutely 8th grade. I love 8th graders. They have so much to offer. It's wonderful. I love to be with 8th graders.
So you've been principal for a few years now. What would you say the biggest struggle is?
The biggest struggle is to balance my time to do all the things I have to do. Fortunately, Mrs. Casey is, wonderful computer skill and can fill out any kind of record or form. And because she does all that for me, I get to be in the classrooms because that's really where I want to be, is in the classrooms, to see what's going on, to help, to do whatever I can for the students.
Yeah. And do you ever worry about like the big events at Corpus? Because we have a lot of stuff, so.
It's always to the last minute. No matter how many times you do them, it's always last minute details. But the teachers really pitch in here. The parents for the things that they run pitch in. So we all work together very well.
It always comes together very nicely.
Yes.
Are there any improvements or edits you want to make for the following school year?
Oh, we're going to introduce some new activities. We are going to go back to the spring show for the 5th to the 8th graders. We are going to do a school walkathon. There's going to be an after-school writers club for the older grades. We're going to continue and hopefully expand the computer club. And we're looking to, not for next year, but to plan a resource room for the school for the following year.
Yeah, that sounds great. So that's all for Sarah Scoop today. Thank you so much, Mrs. Lafferty, for coming.
It was my pleasure, and you all do a wonderful job. We're very proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Have a great summer, everyone.
Hello, Corpus, and welcome to another interview with another 8th grade anchor. I'm here with Mary Kay Duffy, and we're going to ask Mary Kay the same questions I was asking all the other anchors. Mary Kay, how are you preparing for high school?
Well, I'm just trying to really stay focused, and my sister goes to the high school that I'm going to, so I've been asking her some questions, and I've just been trying to meet some new people and just get to know the place.
So I hear that it's a family tradition that all of you and your sister and your mother has gone to, Elsie?
The Mount.
The Mount. The Mount. Ah, okay,
Yeah.
the Mount. Okay. Ah, okay. So why did you guys pick the Mount?
Well, I just really liked the community and everyone that was there. Everyone was really nice and welcoming. And I was choosing between the Mount and Gwynedd. And I wasn't really sure which one I wanted to go to because I liked both of them and I have had family that's going to both of them.
Oh, okay.
So I just decided the Mount in the end.
Okay, that's good. So how about some memorable moments since you've been here at Corpus?
I really liked gym class and a lot of the specials. And I just liked my grade. They were fun to hang out with all these 9 years.
Wow, good.
Yeah.
So I noticed you guys have gone to DC this year, right?
Yes.
So since you've been here, what was your favorite class trip?
I think my favorite class trip was 7th grade because it was really different. We went to Annapolis in Maryland. And I really liked to go to the Naval Academy. That was really fun. And it was just like a different field trip than the other ones because we usually go to museums at the other ones, and this one was just really fun.
So is that the theme for the 7th grade, to go to Annapolis?
Not really. We don't really learn about Maryland at all in 7th grade. They just kind of chose that, I think, but it was fun.
Okay. So what made you want to join the media club?
Well, my friend Sarah asked if I wanted to join, and at first I was a little hesitant. Like, I wasn't really sure if I wanted to join. And then I went to the first meeting, and I really liked it, and it was really fun, and I just stayed.
Okay, good. And the last question. Now that you're leaving, and you've been here for 9 years, what advice can you give the following 8th grades coming behind you and the other class coming up?
I would tell them to just stay focused in all their classwork and to just kind of finish out strong 8th grade because it's kind of hard at the end of 8th grade because you just have a lot of work piled onto you and you kind of feel like, what's the point? But then you realize that they're just trying to prepare you for high school and just to work really hard and stay focused.
Great. So Mary-Kate, we enjoyed you this year, and we hope that you have a great high school experience.
Thank you.
And have a great summer. And thank you again for joining.
Thanks.
And that's it for this particular interview, and we will have a few more interviews next. See you then.
Hello, Corpus Christi. I'm Emily Durning, and today I have the pleasure of interviewing 7A's Mrs. Dalton. So, Mrs. Dalton, thank you for taking time to be with me. How long have you worked at Corpus?
Since 2005, so it's 13 years.
What is one of your favorite memories from a class you taught here?
I can't think of a class in particular, but I think of drama club. I liked when we did drama club, like the 4 shows that we did, and I really had a good time there. I had a good time in a lot of classes as well, but drama club, especially the year of the 50th anniversary, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was a good year. What is something you're going to miss about Corpus?
I'm going to miss all the people, but I told Mrs. Lafferty I was going to come back and substitute, so I'm sure I'll still see everyone. I won't see the 8th grade graduating class, so I will miss them. But other than that, I'm hoping to still see everyone next year.
That's nice. What did you first expect when you started working here?
When I started working here, I started in 3rd grade, and I thought that was the grade I was going to stay in. I always wanted to be a 3rd grade teacher, and I started in 3rd grade, and then I was asked if I would try 7th and 8th grade, and I love reading novels, so I love teaching 7th and 8th grade ELA.
Well, you just kind of answered it, but
Oh,
what has
okay.
been your favorite grade to teach?
I would have to say 7th and 8th grade. That's not what I thought it would be, but I love teaching ELA. I love reading books and plays and stories, and the students have a lot to say and a lot of participation, so I enjoy that.
Well, we have all loved you as a teacher, so thank you for being here today, and have a great summer.
Okay, thank you, Emily. You too.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Reagan Conroy, and today we are all here together to do a little something different on the news. Today we wanted to do a thank you tribute to Mr. Jones for this wonderful club. I wanted to say thank you to Mr. Jones for putting together this club because it took a lot of courage, and not a lot of people believed in him, but he believed in himself, and we had a lot of fun this year. Like, this club has been so much fun. I had the opportunity of, like, sharing, like, expressing myself, like, on the news with a bunch of my classmates, and everybody seems to like it, and I'm really excited for what they're going to be able to do next year. And I just wanted to thank him for letting me come into this club, because he does so much for us, and I just want to be grateful for everything he does. How about you, Mary Kate?
I want to say thank you because this club took a lot of hard work, and he had to edit everything and make sure the sound was okay, and he had to come up with some of the segments, and it was just a lot of hard work and courage, like Reagan said, because it was a new club and a lot of people didn't believe in him, and I just want to say thank you.
I wanted to say thank you to Mr. Jones because he would basically do everything for us. We would just film and he would do everything else. He'd try week after week to make it the best it could be. He kept trying over and over again to make it perfect and to make us proud of what we worked hard on. And he just worked so hard for us, and he brought this club to life. He's just introduced an idea and he put it all together by himself, and I think it's a school-wide, everyone loves it. And I just think it's a great thing, and I really hope it continues for a bunch more years, as long as he's here, even longer than that.
Yeah. I wanted to say thank you to Mr. Jones for always encouraging our ideas, no matter what kind of segment we wanted to do, whether it was Sarah's Scoop or a Germinator segment. He would always encourage it and just say to go with it and try new things and just have fun while doing it. And he really did work very hard to get this club up and running, and it really was a great year, and I'm really excited to see what happens in the future with this club, and I hope it stays forever.
So I want to say thank you to Mr. Jones for all the hard work he put into this club and always editing everything and having it up on time. And I really appreciate him putting up with all our crazy stuff, our conversations at lunch. They're insane, and I'm glad he just didn't give up on us because we're pretty crazy. And also I want to say thank you to him for giving the school something that everyone loves and enjoys. I think everyone really loves seeing all the news broadcasts every week, and it just adds a little fun into the school day. And I really appreciate all the hard work he's done for this club because I love it so much, and I love being with all my friends. So, thank you, Mr. Jones.
Yeah, I would like to say thank you too because he has to work so hard because really he runs this whole club, and he would do anything because he just works so hard to get it on every week, and he always encourages us to do whatever segment we want, and he is very, very encouraging because any idea we come up with, he'll give it a try, and we're just very thankful.
Can we just all take a minute to say thank you, Mr. Jones, because he's been an amazing teacher for all of us.
Yeah.
I feel like we've basically just learned a lot through this club, and we've also
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just great for your 8th grade year to spend a lot more time with your friends and to have something that you're proud with, to leave your mark. I felt like we left our mark on the news.
I want to share a funny story of Mr. Jones, and maybe you can all go around saying funny stories about Mr. Jones. I remember one of the first meetings that we had for News Club in the science lab. Me and you were talking about Friends, and I think you were too. You were talking about the show Friends, and we were talking about a specific episode, and Mr. Jones turns to us and goes, "Oh yeah, I've seen that." We just all bursted into laughter because, I don't know, I guess we didn't think that we could relate with him on that kind of stuff, but we just thought it was really funny and really cool that he watches Friends too.
Something kind of funny was that Sarah and Renee wanted to do this, they wanted to do this workout segment, and he was a little hesitant at first, and they're like, no, we have a lot of cool stuff we can do, we can do a bunch of things with our abs, and we could just teach people. And Mr. Jones was like, okay, and they ended up doing it, but it didn't air, and I think it's on the website, so if you want to see it, you can see it.
A funny memory of Mr. Jones actually happened quite recently. We were filming our interview with me and Reagan, and I don't know if this is gonna be in the live, but when he was filming it with us, he just started talking, and then he was like, "These two are best best friends. And we just all started laughing because like we thought that was so, he just like said it in a funny way. I don't know, I thought that was funny. Yeah, Mr. Jones, you made me laugh really hard.
Well, there have been a lot of really funny moments from the club, but one of Mr. Jones that I'll probably, I don't know what to say, so.
No, Emily, come on.
No,
Oh,
we'll come back.
here, yeah, we'll go back to Emily.
To choose from.
So yeah, I can remember everyone said so far. It makes me laugh a lot. And always like whenever we're talking about something at lunch, like having some conversation, usually about a show or a movie, we'll like look over at Mr. Jones and he has this like really like funny face or like some reaction, and it always makes me laugh because he looks at us like we're insane, which we kind of are. But yeah.
Yeah, I have a memory that happened recently. I forgot to do something for my segment, and so I was in gym class, and he just came into gym class, and he's just like, Charlotte, and so then he took me, and we talked about how I forgotten something, but it's just very fun.
Okay, yeah, I picked one now. So, a couple weeks ago, we were thinking about a segment that I could do for one of the lives, and he said that with the younger kids, they need to know about like how to not, how to like be more sanitary and not get sick as much. And we were like, okay, so I wrote my segment, and when it was time to film, they were like, oh, what should we call it? And Mr. Jones, who was in the other room, just looks out and was like, Emily the Germinator, take one. And everyone just started bursting out in laughter, and that was a really great segment. And now everyone knows me as the Germinator.
I love the Germinator segment. I was supposed to be featured in a Germinator episode. It didn't happen, but it's okay.
But I think we all really appreciate everything Mr. Jones has done for us this whole year.
Remember our first live? He got us Starbucks cookies.
He did. All this stuff. You're so nice, Mr. Jones. We really appreciate everything you've ever done for us and this club. It's amazing.
So I guess we're just trying to say thank you. So let's
So,
say thank you on
1,
3.
2, 3. Thank you, Mr. Jones.
Hello, Corpus Christi. I'm Renee DeZetting. As an 8th grader going to high school, I wanted to interview an awesome teacher that a lot of the class of 2018 will miss. Mrs. Zapor, thanks for interviewing with me today. Most of you have seen her speed walking through the halls or getting her steps in outside, and she's the best honors math teacher ever. So, Mrs. Zapor, thank you for taking time to interview with me today. So, the first question is, what is your favorite thing about teaching at Corpus?
Okay, that's a tough one, but I would probably have to say my coworkers, especially on this hall. There's so many times we have to switch classes because of some event, and everybody just kind of gets out and works together to make sure everybody can get as many minutes in to see their students as possible.
Okay, the second question is there a certain grade that you enjoy teaching the most?
Okay, you know what, that differs every year. But I would definitely say, and not because you're interviewing me, but your class is definitely one of my favorites because they ask good questions, they're focused, there's a lot of you so you can get to bounce ideas off of each other. But if I had to say this year, it will be a tie between you and another grade, your grade and another grade.
The third question is there any specific topic in math that is your favorite to teach?
And that's another tough one too. I would say it would have to be a toss-up between pi, probability, and probably games involving math.
And then the last question is what stands out to you most about Corpus?
Okay, that's an easy one. I'm going to say the people. I have every card, even cards that you wrote to me back, from the beginning, every card, every nice letter that parents or kids have written to me, and everybody is really nice about just saying things that they enjoy where they didn't really have to do anything.
Okay, that's it. So thanks again, Mrs. Zapor, and I hope you have a great summer.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you very much. And we have our last two 8th grade news anchors. And we have Sarah Grosh and Megan Conroy. And we know Sarah Grosh from Sarah Scoop. So we're going to ask them some questions. But also caveat, these two are like best friends. Okay? Okay.
Also, I know you
Okay, so ladies, I'm going to ask a question. I want you both to think about the question. I'm going to ask Renee, and then I'm going to ask Sarah.
Renee.
I'm sorry. I'm going to ask Reagan and Sarah. I'm sorry. Reagan, they're always called Reagan. So, that's one of my quirks. I always call Reagan Renee. It's fine. But she understands. So anyway, so I'm not going to ask the questions in order. I'm just going to ask them. Okay?
Yeah.
So the one question I'm going to ask last, and I want you to answer last, but I'm going to ask you first, so you think about the answer.
Okay.
Okay, I want you guys to think about what you can give, what kind of advice can you give the class that's coming in behind you, okay? So, first question I'm going to ask is, how are you guys preparing for high school? How about you, Reagan?
I'm preparing by getting to know the freshmen that are going to be in the same class as me going into LC. And me and Sarah have been doing some like tests and stuff at LC and trying to get to know people, and hopefully we can do like summer camps over the summer at LC to get to know people.
And how about you, Sarah?
Well, we share like a really good friend who's a freshman at LC right now, and so we've just been like talking to her a lot and asking her questions about LC, just making sure we know everything we're going into, and yeah, it's really fun.
That's good. So it seems like the whole corpus is going to LC. Go figure out. Okay, so my next question is, you guys just came back from a field trip. So all the years that you've been here, what is your favorite field trip, Sarah?
My favorite field trip was 7th grade by far. I love seeing the Naval Academy. Annapolis is like so pretty. It was definitely like my favorite field trip. I even went back in the summer. That's how much I loved it. I just think it's so pretty, and the boats and the water. It's just like a really beautiful place. And I totally recommend going there. You'll go in your 7th grade field trip, but if you want to go in your own time, you get more time to explore the town. It's beautiful, really cute town. Yeah, it was amazing. I love Annapolis.
And how about you, Reagan?
I have to agree, like 7th grade was definitely my favorite, but I also really liked like 8th grade and 6th grade field trips. They were fun too, but yeah, 7th grade was my favorite.
That's good. And what brought you to the media club, Sarah?
So I'm a student council member. I know I'm not wearing my pin right now, but it's gym day, so it's okay. So for a student council meeting, Mr. Jones came to talk to us, and like he was like, I want to start a news team, and I'm like obsessed with the news. Like I want to be a news anchor one day on Good Morning America. I've gone to Good Morning America. It's a great experience. And so he was like talking about how he wanted to start news, but he wanted to start with student council members. So me and my friend Rachel were like, okay, we're totally going to do this, right? So then we go, and I talked to Mr. Jones, and we planned some things out, and he was like, you have to recruit some people. So I felt like, yeah, really special.
How about you, Reagan?
Sarah asked me if I wanted to be in the news, and like Mary Kate said, I was a little hesitant because I wasn't sure if I was going to like it or not, but I've been in drama club for a while, and I feel like both of those things like help me like express myself, so like news club, I want to.
That's good. I'm going to go a little off the cuff here and ask a different question. When you thought about, when I came to your class, Sarah, and the student council, and I said I wanted to put this together, what were some of the ideas? You guys brought some ideas also, because I just said let's start something. So what kind of ideas did you bring to the media club that we've started and we hope to keep going on?
I feel like we just kind of brought like segment ideas. Like we would just like list like when we'd meet in the science lab and we had a different room. We've switched all over the place, but we would just like bring all our ideas and jot down notes. Like Sarah's Scoop was definitely something. We liked filming in the library at first because we thought it gave a like homey vibe. We also had like random facts with Renee, and then we thought weather would be good, and then we just started doing like more news-like segments. And just like focusing on the school, not as much as like the real world news, because this is school news and younger kids are watching, and sometimes what's going on in the real world is like not always the best. So we like to distract and make people happy by bringing Friday night news. Friday morning news.
So Reagan, what did you think when we sat and we were coming up with ideas, and did you think that your classmates would like the ideas? What was the response after a few times we recorded?
Well, after a few times we recorded, like, I felt more and more confident each time. Like, I wasn't sure about, like, the first live and all that. So, like, the response from, like, our classmates, a lot of our classmates really liked the news, and I really liked it after we did it a couple times. And I think that this is going to be, like, something that we'll all remember.
Yeah. Awesome. Great. So my last question, what advice would you give to the 7th grade coming into 8th grade? And not just them, but the ones who are going to watch this from the kindergarten on up. We're going to start with Reagan first.
So I know that 8th grade might seem like, oh, it's the end, like all fun and time and stuff like that. But like, I say, like, if you're gonna like really put yourself out there in any year of school, I say do it in 8th grade. Like, really like get involved, really like sharpen up your grades and just like do the best you can all the way through. And once you're done, like, you're done elementary school. So.
How about you, Sarah?
Okay, so I know from my personal experience, I like didn't really enjoy 8th grade for like a lot of the year. I was just kind of focused on high school I was going to, and I was more excited to leave Corpus and to go to Lansdale Catholic. And I wasn't really like soaking up everything I have at Corpus. I was excited for the end of the year events, but mainly I was just really looking forward to going to high school. And now we have a few more weeks of school, and I'm just like, it's hitting me finally that I'm not going to be at the same school I've been to for a long time next year, and it just kind of scares me. And I feel like if I held on to 8th grade a little bit more, I would have been happier now because I would have known I could have enjoyed it to the most. So right now I'm just trying to like really enjoy my 8th grade year for the rest of the weeks I have, because it's totally not going to be the same next year. It's going to be all different. So I would just say, like, enjoy the whole thing. I know with all the placement tests, it can be really stressful and you're just excited to leave and go to a new high school, but I think enjoying it is like the key.
Awesome. Great. I agree with that. Enjoy the time that you have here, because you don't know what's going to happen later on. And you might miss something. So again, I would like to thank Sarah Grosh and Reagan Conroy for joining the Media Club and bringing their little efforts to it. And I'd like to thank all the news anchors for bringing their time and their effort and energy to the Media Club. And myself and the crew wish you all the best in high school, and God bless you. Slow down. Yes, it's on.